Welcome to my garden. Welcome back. Yeah, you're right. M. Hood discovered. So I got Cucuzza, Cucuzza, whatever you want to call it. That's what's growing behind me. In English, bottleneck squash, right? It is in the gourd family. It's in the winter squash family. You don't let it go too long before you eat it. You can let it go really long and it turns into a gourd. It's really starting to tip down out here. Here we go. Check them out. So a lot of times when I'm out here in the yard, I notice people driving by really slow, staring. I got flipped off by a lady who was doing that. She didn't realize I was out here, and then when her eyes met mine, she spent a fair amount of time driving slow, staring, right? And then her eyes met mine, and before she sped off, she flipped me off. I have no reason why. I mean, I have no idea why, but I think she may have been staring at the stuff I have growing. And the only two food things I have growing right now are bananas, which we're standing under, and behind us, the Cucuzza, the Cucuzza. Yeah, you're right. Some people don't know what it is I'm growing. They think it's weeds, but it's actually food. There are other people that think I'm growing Merlaton back here behind me, but it's actually Cucuzza. And then there's a lot of illegals around here too, right? They never come up and try to ask me about the Cucuzza. They come up and they try to ask me, like, my Spanish is poquito, but I do speak a bit. They'll ask me about these bananas. Really starting to tip down out there. Looks like my whole day, most of it is gone to the rain. Maybe it'll get better. Maybe I'll be able to do something closer to sunset. But right now it's boom, boom, drip, drip. I could have left these out there going a little longer, and I could have done what I did. I could take them or leave them, right? When they get about this length, you can start thinking about eating them. But if you let them out there too long, they're going to get hard and they're not really edible. Now, the reason why people... Well, there's a lot of people that will see what I'm growing and think it's Merlaton because it looks, the vine looks similar, right? And Merlaton is quite common around here, but this is second to Merlaton. There's a lot of this. A lot of people grow this around here. A lot of people. More than people realize. A lot of times, people are just thinking it's all Merlaton before they're told it's not. So, another thing that makes these like Merlaton is it's pretty common to cook them the same way. You cook Merlaton down into a gravy, a sauce, or something like that. Creole, Cajun sort of thing, right? These are Italian. They're not Creole, they're not French. They're Italian. This is an Italian gourd. That's why the names, it's got different pronunciations, right? That's why they all sound Italian. Cucuzza, Cucuzzi, Cucuzza, and if you want to Americanize it, it would be bottleneck squash. I mean, bottleneck gourd also as well. Bottleneck squash, bottleneck gourd. There you go. So, I've worked with these before. A friend gave me some from his garden. I juiced them. He gave me some plants. Now, these are from my garden. Yeah, you're right. Maybe this is why people stare all the time. I live in a trailer park that is kind of not looking as run down as it used to, but it's still run down. People hate it around here. Also, I'm the only one in this trailer park with a really nice garden, right? I got bananas, I got Cucuzza, I got other plants, I got an oasis with cats enjoying their lives, right? So on the outside, it looks nice out there because I put the work in. On the inside, I don't own this, I rent it, and the person who owns this never does anything, doesn't want to put the work in. And I'm not opening up my wallet and investing in something I don't own. However, a gardener's going to do what a gardener's going to do. A gardener is going to garden. And that's what I do outside. I have a garden. It's like a yard, right? It's a yard. That's all I have is a yard out there. I live on a yard inside a bread box. It's hot. I've already had the camera overheat once doing another video earlier where I was just rah, 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 and I'll try not to rah, 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 in this video. But I'm stuck in here because of this rain. I'd like to be out getting some catfish to cook with this, but the rain's going to keep me here. It's lightning, it's thundering. If it wasn't lightning and thundering, maybe it would be nice to stand out in the rain holding the fiberglass rod up towards the sky, getting some fish. But with the boom boom and the electric light show, I don't think so. So I want to cook something. Past 2 days I haven't had much of an appetite, been in a bit of pain. I worked my way through it and now I'm ready to eat. But I got 2 of these that were ready to come in, and I don't think I'm hungry enough to eat 2. My goodness, look how big and look how long they are. I don't even think I should cook this whole thing. I think we're going to go for half. We're going to choose this one over this one. We're just going to clean them up, put one in the fridge, and proceed with something here. So these have been going strong for a while, right? They're growing on a fence. One side is my yard and the other side is public. We got what we call a servitude, right? The property line doesn't go to the curb. In between the property line and the curb is the servitude. It's parish property. And the funny thing is, I've had females set fruit. I had them set fruit on the parish side first, and they start growing and then they disappear. Maybe that's why people are staring. It might be people that know what I'm growing, and when I'm not out there, they're taking it. I don't mind people taking 1 or 2, but if I ever find someone harvesting my stuff by the bucket, you know what I mean? I don't care if you take 1 or 2, but if anybody ever comes over here trying to fill a bucket up, that's just, you're taking too much for yourself. You shouldn't take a bucket. You come out over here, take buckets. I don't know. I'm waiting months to get something for myself because some greedy person was filling up a bucket. Some people don't like me anymore because I yelled at them because they were in my yard, walking through my yard like it's a public path. This is not the UK. We do not have public paths going through private property. You know, and if someone just is walking through my yard on my side of a line of demarcation, you're gonna get yelled at. You're gonna get told what's for, right? It's gonna happen. I don't like to be trespassed. I don't like stress. I don't like trespassing. But it's gonna happen. People are gonna take from the parish side, and that's fine. But if you're ever there with a bucket, you're taking too much. Big pot, but I'm not making a big pot of food. I'm not sure what I'm making. I have some ideas. Well, I think I know what I'm doing. But what do you think? What would you? Let us know down in the comments. Let everybody know. Talk amongst yourselves what you would do with this or what you'd like to do with these. People would like to know. Does it look scary in here? This fridge has not been staying cold. It's cold, but not as cold as it's supposed to be. What am I looking for? It's in here somewhere. Maybe it's deep. I gotta keep a lot of different things in the fridge or they're gonna get infested with bugs in this house. Found what I was looking for. First thing up, buckwheat, lentils. It's about a half a cup of buckwheat. I'm very hungry for beans, but not the time it takes. I haven't done any pre-soaking or anything. Lentils are very forgiving in that regard, right? There's a lot of things I could do right now, a lot of different decisions I could make. The lentils aren't going to take long to cook. I could take my time and take items such as red onion, celery, some pepper, some garlic, prepare all that, cut it up, put it in a pan with some oil and cook that down and then add that in. Or I could put all these things just straight in with the lentils and the buckwheat. The buckwheat ups the protein level, and I'm torn between, like, what do I want? I don't feel like walking over to the store and getting some tomato, because buckwheat and tomato sauce sounds good. Lentils with a tomato base sounds good. We got no tomato base. Oh, it sounds good. What to do? What to do? What to do? Decisions have been made. Everything's going to just be chopped fine. So we started with the onion. With garlic now, do the same thing. Maybe one that size, and if there's another one here that size, maybe that. Maybe one or two more, right? Yeah, so it's going to be 3. There we go. I'm going to take the time right here to talk about a subject that some of us experience and a lot of people don't. They have no idea what we're talking about. But perhaps you've seen content about it. I'm going to approach it as such. There's always going to be somebody who's going to try and stop you from growing your own food. At first it doesn't seem that, but that is what it is in a nutshell. The gist of it is that they may be coming at you in a different way. It's unsightly because they think it's weeds, or you're obscuring their view. They find out you have a compost pile or compost bin and it doesn't stink, but they're gonna say it does, or they're assuming eventually it will. You have chickens and you're following the regulations, but they're going to complain the first time they hear a rooster crow, even though you don't have a rooster. And you're going to find people who are going to complain about your garden because they think they have some misconception about people who grow their own food. They're going to call you redneck, hillbilly, white trash, poor. You say, oh, they just can't afford to buy food. That's why they're growing their own food. It may seem silly. You may not believe me, but trust me, it's true. There's a lot of people in the world. And they're not all smart. There's a lot of people that hear the sound of my voice. At times, it is very evident that I'm from Texas. They're not going to know anything about me. They're just going to hear that. They're just going to pick up on that, right? The twang, the southern drawl, the Texas drawl. And that's all they need. And then they start assuming that I'm a hillbilly, that I'm a redneck. You know, calling me racist and whatever just because of the sound of my voice. And I'm white trash because of the sound of my voice. Without knowing anything about you, they will make shit up. Because there's a lot of people in the world and they're not all smart. And they're going to hear the sound, they do this to me. They hear the sound of my voice and they just assume that I'm ignorant, I'm dumb, this and that. If you don't tell them what's up, they're gonna invent it and imagine it. Occasionally, they're going to get in your face and let you know, but it's usually online where you see the true colors. You see their ignorance coming through. But when it comes to gardening, doing stuff in an urban area like this, in a suburb, you get what we call Karens. Starting problems, starting trouble, stirring the pot. If your grass gets too tall because you were busy and you missed, it went a little too long before you cut it because you're super busy working overtime and stuff, all of a sudden the local Karen or the Karen Association of your town starts making phone calls, calling you names behind your back. You know, and it can be something like you heat your house with firewood and they got a problem with that. You know? I know it seems silly to think, you know, that people have a problem if you're growing your own food, but remember, just like George Carlin said, there's a lot of stupid people in the world, but imagine they're stupider than you imagine. Yep. There's always going to be somebody that has a problem. All right. 2 jalapenos. Almost in a mood for many more jalapenos. I do have many more jalapenos, but I think 2 is going to be fine, honestly, because there's other hot stuff I'm going to put in this. But this time, I'm excluding the seeds. We're not going to have the seeds in there. This is the red onion, the jalapeno, the garlic, the celery, the olive oil, the hot pan. The heat is well under medium. It's not going to take long for the olive oil's temp to come up. Doing it this way will bring a lot more flavor. Really what this enables is the base. Because we didn't take the time yesterday to make a stock for today. Slowly cooking these down ahead of time will create a stock once we get this all softened and kind of down a little bit, cooked down just a bit, and we add it into there and add our moisture, add our water. We're going to end up with a stock as we slowly cook our lentils and our cucuzza. It's just going to be that much better. I have the time. I can't get out and do anything. It's thunderstorming out there, so might as well just take my time. This is thunderstorm cooking. One of the things you got to bear in mind when you're thunderstorm cooking in a place like this where the power is notoriously going out mediocrely, this might be all for nothing. That's what you got to keep in mind. But I do have alternative ways to cook, so that's what happens when you bear things in mind. You make preparations to get around roadblocks, get around Karens. With Karens, sometimes it just same thing with trolls online. If you engage them, it gets worse. But the problem with Karens is they like to call phone numbers and make complaints because they think they're in control, like the authorities are their pit bull or something. It's not always that way, but they do like to complain, and you won't know they're doing it until they're raining down on you. You'll have no idea. Woo! Did you see that? Here it comes. Bam! Boom! The first little bit of thing I got out of the cupboard, cayenne, I'm just gonna put a little bit in, right? Not a lot. I'm not looking for a backyard fire tomorrow, and I'm not looking for a belly fire today. They just want things kind of warm, not burning. But I might end up with a bit of a burn, but not one that sets the whole state on fire. Yeah, a little bit of curry, or actually more curry than cayenne, for sure. The curry isn't hot, this one. It don't have a lot of hot stuff in it, for me. This is turmeric. There is a lot of turmeric in the curry mix. We're just adding more. This is Cajun Land blackening seasoning, right? I like this, I like the way it tastes, but this particular one has a lot of salt in it, so you gotta go easy if you don't want a lot of salt in your life. I went into a store earlier, and the lady was snacking on salt. On the little jar, it said, snack salt. That's all it was. It had a bit of lime in it, chili and lime, I guess, but it just looked like straight salt. And she was snacking on it. I'm gonna add a little more olive oil. And that's what that looks like, a little more olive oil. Because I added so many seasonings and stuff that were dry, what oil that was already in there got soaked up. And if you don't watch your ratio between those things, because it's so dry, it can just start burning. You want things to cook slow, you don't want them to burn slow. I'm just going to let that go for a while, maybe about 20 minutes. I've knocked the heat back. It's kind of low. It's not on low, but it's lower than it was, right? Just give it time, but watch it here and there. The best things in life take time. Thirty minutes have gone by. It's still tipping down out there. Wayne Hancock's in the other room tinkling away. It's from the Tulsa album at the moment. Yeah, you're right. So I am ready to add some moisture to my frying pan over there. That is looking good. Let me grab this spatula here. Look at that. A song comes to mind that I would hear in the vehicle, the truck, the car. Sometimes it was the Subaru when I was younger. That's about when it came on the radio. Travis Twitt, I think I'll make some homemade soup today. I remember parts of that song were about waking up, not shaving, making a pot of homemade soup, being country, not giving a damn. That's kind of what we're doing today. We're doing something country because we're stuck in here because of the rain. Got something that came from my garden to my kitchen and then to my belly. Yeah, you're right. Grown by my own two hands in sight of the public. Because I think that's where you run into problems when you're growing your own food, when the public can see it. Back in the day, I don't remember these problems ever occurring. It seems like the further we go into the future here, the more that time progresses, and it might have a lot to do with the internet, and it might have a lot to do with the fact that we have more HOAs, and I feel like I'm living in an HOA, or it's people from an HOA causing trouble. Nobody's like telling me I can't grow food, but this trailer park I live in, a lot of times they remind me that I can't use their water. because water is free. Like, they pay for the water, right? And they don't like people watering the grass or the garden. And I live by those rules. I don't use their water to water my garden. It's the rain. I might use a little bit of their water to start something when I plant it, but I've been very fortunate this year with my garden. My garden has been fortunate. It's just been a lot of rain. It has not been good for in-hood fishing. So many times this year I've not been able to get out and make the content that I'm known for because of the rain. But I've been able to have a beautiful garden. It means I got to cut my grass more often, but I've been able to have a beautiful garden, and I've been able to grow some food. I got some tomatoes, but tomatoes don't grow that well here. It's just too much disease and bug problems because it gets warm early, stays warm, gets hot very long part of the year. Yeah, we don't have a freeze, so I'm just gonna cut this Cucuzza up into little pieces. There's a lot of things that just don't grow well in this climate. It's a subtropic climate. We are south of Lake Pontchartrain. You get north of Lake Pontchartrain, the climate changes just enough to allow you to be more successful with certain things. But there are a lot of things that grow really, really well here. Cucuzza, mirliton, okra, and sweet potato. Those things grow excellent here. With these particular things here, or this particular vegetable, Cucuzza, very resistant to disease and bugs. I got this ladybug looking thing out there that attacks my leaves, right? But it's not stopping my Cucuzza plants from producing, and they're not doing that much harm. What I do is occasionally I get out there about once a week or so, and I spray my Cucuzza with just a garden variety insecticidal spray that I make. It's a little bit of Dawn, jalapeno juice, and cayenne tea, and that seems to keep them from becoming a major problem. Carrots, big time traditional essential item when you're making a pot of lentils. Whoa, I was beginning to wonder, despite the thunder and everything, that red bone smells the carrots. Luckily, even if she didn't like one to come in here, I do have some yeah. Here, let me go give these to my dog, because she's gonna get spooked. She needs the carrots to keep her feeling comfy. One for your benefit. Come here. You want it? He's getting too boomy? Come here, Tulse. Oh, there you go. One for you. I'm gonna give the rest to her. Adding water by putting it in this pan here, because that means I'm getting a lot of the flavor out of the pan. We're gonna come up pretty high with our level here in the pot. I'm gonna bring the heat up a fair bit and watch it. Once it gets to a boil, I'll bring it back down. Sure starting to look like I'm making a big pot of food. I think that's just the country in me. I didn't want to make a lot of food, but a lot of times, even when I don't want to make a lot, I end up making more than I can eat, more than I need, because you never know, someone might show up and you're gonna be ass out if you don't have enough. So if somebody shows up, a friend of mine that likes my food, I got enough to throw a bowl their way. This is going to take a while to achieve perfection, but not very long. Not like we're doing red beans or something. It goes quicker than you could imagine. Back to that random lady who flipped me off. I wonder if she thought I was an illegal immigrant, because there's a fair amount of them living here. Quite a few. You don't see them as much as you used to. They are low-key. A few months ago they were everywhere. You'd see them all the time. And maybe some of them have left. But she may have thought I was one of them. Or she just doesn't like Cucuzza. I have no idea. She did not stop and get out and explain herself. And I didn't give back what for. You know, I saw her staring and I just was like, why is she staring? And then she flipped me off and I was like, yeah, okay. Thanks for showing us your personality. And I went about my business. There's always going to be people like that are rude, right? They're going to stir. They're going to flip you off. Most of them just don't really just give you, they don't give you the time of day, right? They see right past you, right through you. They don't see you. Yep. Other times, it's like I'm a sideshow. It's like you feel like you're one of the animals at the zoo, but they're not throwing peanuts. Maybe she was looking to see if I had any Cucuzza worth stealing. I got the two nicest ones that were out there today, so yeah. If I ever catch someone out there filling up a bucket, I'm gonna get really mad. I don't care if somebody gets one or two from the public side. But don't take them all, because then I don't have any for myself. I'm not growing them just for the sake of the public. I'm growing them for myself, and if somebody wants one or two, I don't care. But damn, don't take them all from me. They're always trying to take it all, right? And then if they're not trying to take it all, they're trying to take it all away. Take away your right to do this or that. Can't have chickens, can't grow this, can't grow that. Can't do this, can't do that. I'm not saying authorities, I just mean random people. Don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about laws and stuff. I'm talking about random people interjecting themselves in your day, telling you what to do, what to say, what not to do. And it's like, you're a stranger. You're just somebody driving by, and I have no idea what the freaking heck your problem is. But I know who's wooing at the door, and I know what's in that pot. She didn't stop my day. I got some good food here. Some of it I grew and some of it I didn't. Yeah, you're right. We got some Ital coming up. It's going to take a while, but not, like I said, not long. An hour or two. So I got a decision to make. See, I got a bit of a boil. Let's put that to the side. We got our lentils and buckwheat popping up to the surface because of that boil, but we don't have a rapid boil, right? Oh, we're getting it though. Stirring was the thing to do. So let's grab the hat. Here pretty soon I'm going to have to address the woo-woo. Okay, that's rapid enough. So here's the decision we need to make. Right now we're over medium, a 6. We could come all the way back to low. That means more time. It's going to take more time. Some people think that if we put it on low, that we're going to lose that boil. We're not going to lose that boil. We're going to lose that rapidness, but it's just going to tinker away. It will still boil, but at a slower rate. What I think we should do is not on low, but 1. It's still fairly low. The longer it takes, the more flavor, the better, right? But sometimes Sometimes you just don't have the patience to wait. But trust me, it's lentils. It's coming sooner than you think. This is about an hour and a half later. Lots of things have changed. It is bright outside. The sun has come out. Looks like the rain has stopped. This is ready. Lots of people, woo, lots of people don't like that. The steam. Yeah, you're right. Well, a lot of people, what I was meaning to say is a lot of people don't know what's up with Cucuzza, Cucuzza. When you cook it, it's going to shrink. It's going to pretty much become a part of the base. You see that? There's a lot of it that has just shrunk so much. We only got a little bit left on the skin. It's going to take on any flavor you cook it with, right? Just like mirliton. You look at this soup base, you see how thick it is, right? This is looking good and it tastes good. I got a little bit of bread here. A little bit of French bread. The end of the loaf. Break that off. Get a little piece going. Stick that right down in my soup base. I've tasted this. It could use a tad bit of salt, so we're just gonna put a little bit of kosher salt. Yeah, you're right. Looks like I can pack everything that I need and get out of here and go do some fishing. And maybe later I can do another video. I'm cooking some fish to go along with this. Wow. Not too spicy. I mean, it's not hot. It's got heat, but that's just because it just came off. Yeah, it's not like fire. I didn't want it to be burning like crazy. Might be an odd thing to crave on a hot day like today, hot and steamy day. You know, soup. It's not really the time of year where people make soup. Definitely not the time of year where they make soup that is super, super hot with like cayenne and other things. The best part of this is that I grew some of this. Came out of my garden. Yeah, you're right. The Cucuzza, the Cucuzza, adds a pivotal part of this soup. Wow. My co-pilot is appreciating the fact that it's thunderless. She's right there with big eyes on me. You might get the fresh cut carrot, but you ain't getting what's in this bowl. Not quite yet. Despite the meddling Karens of the world, I'm still gonna grow some food when I can, and I'm gonna enjoy myself, because that's what life is about: working hard and enjoying the fruit of your labor. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed the video today, and I wish you all safe travels. Hope you and yours are doing just fine. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, being a member of the channel if you like. Yep, thank you. And I will see you next time.